All right, today we're going to talk about one of the most famous experiments in all of psychology. I'm talking about the Asch conformity experiment. And yeah, you probably think you know the story. But what if I told you the common takeaway is, well, kind of wrong? We're about to uncover the surprising and honestly a much more hopeful truth hidden inside it.
But first, let me ask you something. Have you ever been there? You're in a meeting, maybe just hanging out with friends, and everyone agrees on something, but your gut is just screaming, "Nope, that's not right." But you stay quiet. You don't want to make waves, right? You just go along with it. Well, that exact feeling, that's what we're diving into today.
So, let's set the scene. It's the 1950s, and a psychologist named Solomon Asch comes up with this experiment. On the surface, it looked like just a simple vision test, but what he was really doing was creating this brilliant little window into something incredibly powerful: group pressure.
And the setup? It was so simple, it was genius. Okay, so imagine this is you. You walk into a room and sit down with a group of people you think are other participants. You're all shown two cards. One has a single line on it, the other has 3 lines of different lengths. The job is super easy, right? Just say which of the 3 lines matches the first one. A kid could do it. But then, the trick. The other people start giving their answers one by one, and they all pick the same line, and it is obviously the wrong one.
And then, it's your turn. What do you do? I mean, seriously, what goes through your head? Do you say what you're actually seeing? Or do you just go along with the group? That right there, that's the moment of truth. That's the exact pressure point Asch wanted to get a look at.
And believe me, that pressure was intense. This quote from one of the participants just nails it. They said, "I felt a need to not appear different, to not be the odd one out." See? It wasn't about confusion or bad eyesight. It was all about the crushing anxiety of being the only one standing apart from the crowd.
So the results? They were absolutely staggering. Get this, a full 75% of people, 75%, conformed to the wrong answer at least one time. They looked at a short line and said it was long just because everyone else did. That's the big, shocking number that made this whole experiment legendary.
And because of that huge number, the story that got told over and over was pretty grim. The takeaway was basically that people are sheep, that we'll deny what's right in front of our own eyes just to fit in.
Kind of bleak, right? The idea that we're all just hardwired to follow the crowd no matter what. But here's the twist. That's not the whole story. It's not even the most interesting part of the story.
This is the part that always seems to get left out of the textbook version. See, Asch wasn't just looking at why people conform. He was actually way more interested in the opposite. He wanted to know, what does it take to stand your ground? What's the secret to resisting that pressure?
So that 75% number, think of that as just the starting point, the baseline. The real gold, the part we almost never hear about, came next when Asch started tweaking the experiment. He changed just one little thing in the room, and it changed everything. And this leads us to the most important version of the whole test. Asch asked a simple but powerful question. What happens if you're not the only one? What if just one other person in that room of actors also gives the right answer? What if you have an ally?
Well, the results were incredible. I mean, it was like flipping a switch. The moment one other person sided with the participant, conformity rates absolutely plummeted. They dropped by as much as 75%. That one person, that one ally, completely shattered the group's power. It was like they were giving the participant permission to trust their own eyes. Suddenly, you're not the crazy one anymore.
And this completely reframes the whole experiment, doesn't it? It stops being a sad story about how easily we conform. Instead, it becomes this amazing demonstration of our ability to be independent. And it shows that sometimes all it takes to unlock that independence is having just one other person say, "Yeah, I see it too." Okay, so this isn't just some dusty old experiment from the 50s. This stuff is happening all around us, every single day. Think about that work meeting where a terrible idea is getting traction and everyone's just nodding along. Or think about a social media dogpile. It's the same dynamic. This experiment explains so much about our modern world.
So, what are the real takeaways here? Well, for one, yes, the pressure to conform is real and it's powerful, but it is not unbeatable. What's amazing is that our independence is often just one single ally away. That one person gives you the social green light to speak up. It shows that courage is contagious, and that a single voice speaking the truth can completely shatter a false reality that everyone else is pretending to see.
So let's just get this straight. The big lesson here isn't that we're all just mindless followers ready to walk off a cliff if the crowd does.
No, the real story, the true lesson, is about the incredible, almost magical power of a single independent voice. The power to give someone else courage, to validate what's real, and to change absolutely everything for a group.
And that really just leaves us with one final thought, one question for you. We all know what that pressure to fit in feels like. But now that we know how powerful an ally can be, what does it take to be that ally for someone else? To be that one voice that makes all the difference?